We appreciate our founder, Mrs. Alma Pukia at the different. Thank you very, very much for hearing the
The Empowering Better Life Foundation duly launched. Thank you.
Come on, please, so louder. Come on, please, so louder. I believe we can do it one more time. To our special guest of honor, to our founder.
Hey, this is your girl Wendy Shay. It's Wendy Shay on the beat. It's all about Jata Nation.
No, Kampala.
Secretary General-elect of the Commonwealth, former Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, and our guest of honor, Honorable Shirley AyorkorBotchwey. The NPP's running mate for the 2024 presidential elections and former Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. The founder of EBLF, Mrs. Alma Pokua Adade Prempeh. The clergy, Nananum, former ministers of state, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on all further protocols eloquently established by the Master of Ceremony and say good evening to you all. The purpose of this evening's gathering is truly special. The official launch of the Empowering Better Life Foundation, EBLF, under the theme, Empowering Lives, Transforming Communities. This event marks the beginning of a purposeful journey dedicated to championing mental health awareness, supporting children with special learning needs, promoting menstrual hygiene, advancing financial literacy, and nurturing ethical leadership among the youth of our beloved country. This gathering is not just a celebration of a new foundation, but a call to action, a commitment to building a more inclusive, empowered, and compassionate society. Together, we can transform lives and strengthen communities. Thank you for being here to witness and support this remarkable beginning. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Abubakar, for establishing for us firmly what it is that has brought us together. Let me also take the opportunity to acknowledge as well Honorable and Mrs. TitusGlover, former Greater Accra Regional Minister. Thank you very much for joining us as well. We're truly grateful. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to connect ourselves with the source, to connect ourselves with that noble intent that gives us the reason and the purpose to bring our value, to bring our knowledge, to bring our resources to bear to help in propelling this noble organization onto success. So we would like to invite the founder to share with us her introductory message. Please help me to welcome Mrs. Alma Pukua and the Big Prepare to the podium. Oh, keep it going as she joins us.
Honorable Shelley AyorkorBotchwey, our special guest. Distinguished guests, esteemed partners, and dear friends. Today is a special day, and I'm deeply honored to stand before you as we officially launch the Empowering Better Life Foundation, EBLF. This moment is not just the realization of a dream, but the beginning of a movement, one that seeks to empower lives and transform communities. Looking around this room, I see respectable, visionaries, and compassionate individuals who have dedicated their lives to making a difference and hold a firm understanding that the real change is only possible when we come together. Your presence here today speaks volume. It tells me that the issue we seek to address regarding mental health awareness, inclusive education, menstrual hygiene, and financial literacy matter deeply to all of us. It tells us that we are not alone in this mission, and for that, I am truly grateful. Ghana is a country blessed with talent, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit. We see it in the way our young people dream, in our cultural setup where communities support one another, and in the way we rise in the face of challenges. But even in the midst of this strength, there are critical issues that continue to hold too many of our young people and families back. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, mental health remains one of the least understood aspects of well-being. Too many children and adolescents struggle in silence, afraid to speak up because of stigma and lack of support. Depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions are not just problems for adults. They affect young minds in profound ways, impacting their education, their relationships, and their future. Ladies and gentlemen, another group that frequently endures their struggle in silence are mothers caring for children with special needs. These women are unsung heroes, carry an emotional and physical burden that few can understand. They navigate a world where they must fight for resources, advocate for inclusion, and provide round-the-clock care, often with little or no support. The mental toll on these mothers is immense. Many battle stress, anxiety, depression, and even isolation. As we champion the cause of children with special needs, we must also prioritize the well-being of their caregivers. No mother should feel abandoned by the very society she's fighting so hard for. Yet as a society, we have not provided enough safe spaces for them to seek help, nor have we done enough to equip families, educators, and caregivers with the tools to support them. At the same time, children with special learning needs face barriers that should not exist. These children are just as capable, just as full of potential, and just as deserving of quality education as any other child. But in many schools, they are left behind. They are misunderstood, overlooked, and deprived of the resources they need to thrive. Without proper support, they struggle with self-esteem, social isolation, and limited opportunities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if we truly believe in equality, we must ensure that education is not just accessible, but also inclusive. For adolescent girls, menstrual hygiene is more than just a health issue. It is indeed a dignity issue. Too many young girls miss school simply because they do not have access to basic sanitary products. Others are forced to rely on unhygienic alternatives, putting their health at risk. The lack of education around menstrual hygiene also means that many girls grow up feeling ashamed or uncertain about a completely natural part of life. We must change this narrative. Every girl deserves to manage her menstrual cycle with confidence and dignity, without it standing in the way of the education or her future. Distinguished guests, and then there is financial literacy, a skill that can shape an entire lifetime. The ability to understand money, save wisely, invest in the future, and lead with integrity is essential. Yet it is often overlooked in traditional education. Too many young people enter adulthood without the financial knowledge they need to make informed decisions. Without guidance, they fall into cycles of debt, make poor financial choices, or miss out on opportunities that could have set them on a path to success. If we want to raise a generation of empowered, ethical leaders, we must equip them with the knowledge and skills to navigate the financial world responsibly. Distinguished guests, these challenges are real, but they are not insurmountable. The Empowering Better Life Foundation was born out of a deep belief that change is possible. That with the right support, every child can rise above their struggles and reach their full potential. We envision a future where mental health is openly discussed and properly supported. Through advocacy, education, and direct intervention, we will work to break the stigma and create support networks for mothers of children with special needs, providing them with emotional support, counseling, and community-based programs. We will engage schools, communities, and policymakers to ensure that mental well-being is prioritized, not just as an afterthought, but as an essential part of a child's development. But we must go further. In addressing these challenges, we see an opportunity to empower the unemployed youth and young adults. The foundation will actively attract unemployed individuals to become caregivers for children with special needs, not just as an act of service, but as a meaningful career path. We recognize that caregiving is both a skill and a calling, one that requires patience, dedication, and a heart for service. distinguished guests, by providing structured training, mentorship, and placement opportunities, we will not only support children with special needs and their families, but also create sustainable employment for many young people. Imagine the impact. Families receiving help they desperately need, children thriving in environments of care and inclusion, and young people finding a sense of purpose and economic stability through meaningful work. This is the kind of change we are committed to building, a change that uplifts lives in every direction. For our young girls, we are committed to promoting menstrual hygiene management. We will not only provide access to sanitary products, but also ensure that education around menstrual health is normalized and integrated into schools. We want to build a world where no girl has to choose between education and her dignity. And finally, we will champion financial literacy and ethical leadership among people. Through workshops, mentorship programs, and practical training, we will help shape a generation that understands how to manage money, build sustainable futures, and lead with integrity. We believe that true empowerment comes not just from opportunities, but from preparation, and we are here to prepare the next generation for success. But this vision cannot be achieved alone. Transforming lives requires collective effort. It requires partnership with government and other relevant agencies to shape policies and create lasting impact. It requires educators and health professionals who are willing to join hands with us in providing guidance and support. It requires corporate leaders and business owners who see the value in investing in young lives, not just as an act of charity, but as a commitment to building a stronger, more prosperous society. Most importantly, it requires people like you, our distinguished guests, parents, community leaders, and advocates who believe in the power of change and are willing to be part of the solution. Today, we do more than just launch an organization. We make a promise to every struggling mother who has longed for a better opportunity for their child. A promise to every young person who has ever felt unseen or unheard. A promise to every girl who has had to sit out of school because of something beyond her control. And a promise to every child who has ever been told that they are not enough. We are here to tell them otherwise. I stand before you today, not just as a founder of EBLF, but as a fellow Ghanaian, a mother, a sister, and a believer in the power of change. I believe that together, we can build a future where every child has the opportunity to thrive. But belief is not enough. We must act. So I ask you all, will you join me in this mission? Will you lend your voice, your resources, and your heart to this cause? Let's work together to empower lives and transform communities. Thank you, and may we all be part of this change. God bless you all.
You know I'd ask you to do it one more time, so please keep it going, please keep it going. Do it significantly as we appreciate our founder, Mrs. Napo&Wife at the different. Thank you very, very much for hearing this call in your spirit and allowing yourself to be committed, to see it through to the very.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the honor of inviting me to join you all for the inauguration of the Empowering Better Life Foundation, EBLF. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adade Prempe. As you may know, the Charter of the Commonwealth, whose leadership I will assume in a fortnight, is founded on the principles of human rights, democracy, good governance, peace and security, and development. Being here this afternoon in support of your bold and visionary initiative for upholding the fundamental values of human dignity, inclusion, and sustainable community progress reassures me that across the Commonwealth, indeed across the world, we can continue to count on dedicated individuals and groups to advance rights, the quality of life, and sustainable development. Let me congratulate you, Alma Adade Prempe. Your vision has brought us here today. We're very proud of you. While I celebrate your vision and commitment, I also thank all those who have committed to the ideals and to the success of this foundation. The lessons we continue to learn from the now familiar story of reversibility of human progress are that it takes not just a village, but individuals standing up and working together every day for what they believe in. It is therefore my hope that this event will be more than just a ceremony. It is my hope that it is the beginning of a transformative journey, a collective commitment to improving lives and shaping a brighter, more equitable future. So as we celebrate the launch of an organization, let us become agents for breaking barriers, creating opportunities, and uplifting those who need it most. Indeed, the true success of EBLF will be measured by the tangible impact it has on individuals, families, and communities in the years to come. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, many of the issues confronting us today, including rising mental health struggles, the educational needs of children with learning differences, financial insecurity, and the growing demand for ethical leadership determining health and economic outcomes, affects communities and the trajectories of our societies. We ignore them at our own peril. We need to mobilize as thought leaders, civil society, policymakers, traditional and faith leaders, as media, and the international community around the indispensable power of collaboration. Each citizen has a responsibility to share in shaping inclusive progress. It is not difficult to imagine why. Our lives and our collective fate are intertwined, more so in today's global village. That is why the Commonwealth, with its 2.7 billion citizens, 2/3 of whom are young people, will continue to champion unity in diversity and a shared commitment to resilience in every Commonwealth country, including Ghana. Your mission aligns with our collective goal to build a world where everyone, regardless of background or circumstance, has the opportunity to thrive. In that spirit, I urge you to stay committed and work as hard as it is humanly possible, even as we experience cycles of reversals and regression. If we understand that progress is not inevitable and that no change is permanent, we will sustain the resilience that society needs to drive meaningful, truly responsive change. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now wish to address briefly the 4 areas of priority for you. The first is championing mental health awareness. Imagine a world where support for mental well-being is seen as naturally as treating a physical ailment. A world where no one suffers in silence, and where stigma is replaced with understanding and compassion. The reality, however, is that too many individuals still struggle without access to adequate care or the support that they need. Mental health must not be a privilege. It is a fundamental right. We must create environments where open conversations thrive. Individuals are empowered to seek help without fear, and where mental resilience is nurtured from an early age. We can turn this vision into reality by fostering awareness, expanding access to care, and building communities rooted in empathy and support. The second is supporting children with special learning needs. Every child possesses unique potential, yet for many, barriers to education remain an everyday struggle. A child with special learning needs does not lack intelligence or ambition. What they often lack is access to the right resources and support systems. Education should never be a privilege. It is a right that must be safeguarded for every child. The goal is to ensure that every child, regardless of their abilities, has the opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute meaningfully to society. When we invest in inclusive education, we do not just uplift individuals, we strengthen the entire social fabric of our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, the third is enhancing financial literacy. Financial empowerment is the cornerstone of independence. It determines one's ability to make informed choices, build security, and contribute meaningfully to family life and society. Yet too many young people enter adulthood without the financial knowledge necessary to navigate an increasingly complex world. This is why financial literacy must not be an optional skill, but a fundamental aspect of education. And finally, fostering ethical leadership among youth. True leadership is not a matter of age, but of vision, integrity, and a commitment to service. The youth of today are not just leaders of tomorrow, they are the change makers of today. Their voices, their choices, and their values will determine the kind of world we live in. Commonwealth recognizes that with 2/3 of the citizens under the age of 30, investing in ethical and responsible leadership is not just important, it is essential. Leadership must not be about status or personal gain, but about uplifting others, solving real-world challenges, and making decisions that serve the greater good. Our responsibility is clear. We must mentor, support, and empower young leaders with the values of accountability, innovation, and service. The future is not something we wait for. It is something we actively shape. And if we want a world built on integrity, justice, and progress, we must nurture those who will lead it. And that's exactly what Mrs. Adade seeks to do. The theme of today's launch, empowering lives, transforming communities, is not just a vision. It is a challenge to each of us. It is a call to step forward, to take ownership of this mission, and to be active participants in this journey of change. My hope is that each year of EBLF existence will inspire us all by the lives it touches, the opportunities it creates, and the lasting impact it leaves for future generations. And so I urge all of you, governments, civil society, the private sector, and individuals, to embrace this vision as your own. Change is not the responsibility of a select few. It is a shared duty. If we stand together, act with purpose, and believe in the boundless potential of the human spirit, there is no limit to what we can achieve. So, As we embark on this transformative journey, let us do so with courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to a brighter future, a future shaped by the choices we make today. Let's stand with Alma Adade Prempe. I thank you. Foundation, the Empowering Better Life Foundation, duly launched. Thank you.
Come on, please, so louder. Come on, please, so louder. I believe we can do it one more time. To our special guest of honor, to our founder, and to, of course, her staunch support, her husband, as they stand together, all of us collectively adding our might.